Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the Storm Podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm, and we here with a big interview from TYJ from Cream Shows. Let's get into this shit.
Yo, you know who it is. It's C2.
Gang.
Yeah, it's E, man. You already know what it is.
What up, what up?
TYJ, Cream.
What's good, what's good? Yo, I have been mad excited to do this interview since we went to the first show, probably about a month ago, right? Or the first show that I went to. That was the Holiday Super Show.
Yeah.
And when I met you there, I was like, damn, I want to get this dude on the interview. Because first off, you already impressed me because you pulled up. You were running the show, but you were still in the crowd, like talking to people, networking, like letting people know, like making sure the vibes is right. Yeah. And not a lot of people do that groundwork. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that, oh shit, I did this, so now I could just kick back and, you know, fuck the rest of the shit. But you were making sure your face was seen, making sure niggas knew who you were, making sure you was doing all that shit. And I was like, damn, I fuck with this dude. Like, this dude really actually getting this shit popping.
Appreciate that.
That shit was raw as fuck, man. That shit was raw.
Appreciate that.
How long have you had Cream Shows?
I've had Cream Shows, or Cream,
right.
You know, I just call it Cream for about, we just came up on a year. So it was October of 2019, about, it's a little over a year I came up with it. Okay. And I threw the first show last December, right, 2020. And then, Cream Shows, we used to have a different handle, Cream Shows, my wife came up with over the summer.
Okay,
we
word.
had shows to it. What
made you want to start doing this? Like, what made you want to get into this business?
Man, so just being an employee of the concert industry and production. Right. So I've been doing production my whole life, and so I always had jobs and gigs within it. And so it just I got entrepreneur in me. So just in me was just like, I want to create something and bounce my ideas and make my ideas happen. Right.
You said you've been in production for a while. Like, where did you start in production? Like, what? Yeah. Like, you feel me? Like, what made you want to get into it? Where did you start? Where was your origin story? Damn near.
Yeah, my origin story. Yeah. So, my father threw concerts, right?
Oh, word.
And he probably stopped around the age I was 5. So, like, before that, I only remember going to one of his concerts, but he was throwing them for a long time. But I was so young, I barely remember. Right. So that would probably be the furthest, like, even seeing shows, like, go back. But even then, it was like little church shows. Okay. But word. I think real life diving into the production at my church. So I went to what's called a mega church.
Okay, I heard of those.
Exactly. So they're very large, and they have, technology, good broadcast, good lighting. And so they look for volunteers. And so when I was like 10, 11 years old, I went to the church and I started like volunteering and learning production. And then I just ran with it.
That's pretty decent. So that's something that's low-key just been in your blood, in the family, and you've been around it, exposed for the entire time.
Exactly. I think I want to be a creative, like, in like the entertainment industry. That kind of like run deep in my family, as well as either they in the entertainment ministry or they pastors in my family is how it is so but as far as like actually getting a job and starting to do it, that started from just being in church and learning and running from there.
That's what's up. What is the difference between doing it for somebody else and doing it for yourself? Because obviously that's two different ballparks. You feel me?
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference, like the biggest struggles or all that?
Man, I think the biggest difference is the freedom.
That's a fact.
Like, no doubt, it's definitely the freedom that you get. There's definitely nothing wrong with working for anybody. You know, even then, when I'm Cream is up and running, I'm able to do my own thing. I wouldn't mind going on other gigs, still helping other people. But I just that's really the main difference, the freedom, freedom of creativity, freedom to kind of do what you want. But in essence, I love to use my gift to serve. So whether it's through Cream or somewhere else, I'm having the same amount of fun regardless, given that the work environment is cohesive.
Right. I low-key rock with that because what a lot of people don't understand, or not many people preach, that it's good to have freedom and do things for yourself, but it's also okay to work a job if that's what you want. Like, a big thing in this life is understanding what's best for you. Yep. And a lot of people like to jump on the trends, like being an entrepreneur is trendy now. Yeah. So everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to do this, wants to do that. But that's not what makes everybody happy. Like, some people would rather punch into the 9 to 5 and live their life and do it this way, but they like, I feel like I'll be looked down upon, or I won't be as cool, or this or that, you know? Yeah. So I really rock with that. Was like, part of your answer, you know, one of the things you said, because you was like, yo, sometimes niggas gotta work jobs. You feel
Absolutely.
me? Like, and that's a cool thing, bro.
Niggas got bills too,
bro. You feel me? And
on top of that,
having a job give you a sense of security that entrepreneurship doesn't. Because
exactly.
I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I understand, and it's don't always hit the same every single month. You
Definitely don't.
Like sometimes that check from working that consistent. Okay, I know I'm gonna have this. I know I'm gonna have that. I know I'm gonna have
exactly, precisely.
Yeah,
bro, that's how you. I mean, you should still have that, especially if you're being an entrepreneur. It take a long time to like really get stuff running when you got money, and even when you do, you got to set yourself up so the money is still coming
right
through the duration of your life. So it's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you got to be a man and take care of, you know what I'm saying, your family if you have one.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying, and you got to eat. So it's like, yeah, I would say to any creators from my perspective, like, don't be afraid to like punch in the clock. You need money to fund your business. You need money to hold you over until you get to your goal. Like, don't be ashamed of that. Like, whoever laugh. If people laughing at that, they down there just immature. So
right.
anyway.
They just don't understand the real grind, man.
Exactly.
They
It's something
don't
wrong with
understand
them,
it.
not you, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So since you started, how many shows have you done?
I have now done 4 shows, 2, one in person, 2 virtual, and then I'll have another in person in a couple weeks, and that'll be the 4th.
Okay. Out of the ones you've thrown, let me ask, which one is your favorite?
Man, this upcoming one at Reggie's is gonna be my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know already?
How I know already?
Yeah.
I celebrate my victories, but I look at what was done wrong, and I take pride in the process of identifying things and correcting them. And I feel like I did a good job of looking at the past events and looking at, you know, what exactly didn't go well in my vision. And I feel like I aligned myself a lot better to hit the target this time.
Okay, word. That's what's up. I've been to Reggie's, and that's a fire ass venue. So.
Yeah, it's a nice venue.
Yeah, I've been there for a couple of different shows. One of which was actually a Super show. Super was at.
Yeah.
That was the main reason I was sliding to the show.
Yeah.
Because my homie, he goes by Ouchie. We was just talking about him before we got on the mic. Mm-hmm. He's a big Holiday fan. Yeah. And he sent me. He was like, "Yo, like we should slide to the show." And I was like, "Oh shit, Super on the lineup." Yeah. I bet. Like let's get it. Let me slide through. Yeah. And we went, and the energy there was low key dope. Like it was a very, let's see, what's the best word? It was an intimate event to where the connection between the stage and the crowd was very strong.
Exactly.
Like to an extent, sometimes I go to a lot of shows. Like that's my shit. I really enjoy concerts. I like being in the crowd. I like doing all that. And at this show, the barrier between performer and artist was damn near not there. Mm-hmm. Like it was just very good interaction between the entire thing. Like shit, there was a point where me and Super was in the mosh pit together, turning up, kicking it. You feel me? Holiday was singing with the crowd, like they were off the stage talking to us, and it was just a good vibe all around. And everybody in there was having a good time. And this is an important thing because in recent times, you know, the whole Travis Scott situation that's going on, the care that was taken by even everybody, all the people who were there to watch the show. People were watching out for each other. You and your team was making sure everybody was okay. Like, that's things that are very, very important in this industry. Yeah. And y'all knocked that out of the park. Like,
appreciate that.
That was a 10 out of 10 for me because I was like, yo, you walked in this mug and really feel loved. Like, we here to turn up. We here to mosh. Like, we gonna do that shit. But we also here to have a good ass time. Like, nobody trying to go home sad or none of that shit. You feel me? And I thought that was a really dope aspect of the show.
Dope.
That shit was raw.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I definitely appreciate that.
Let me ask, as someone who throws concerts and does all these things, obviously, you're not at the point yet to do like the Travis Scott shit, but one day, hopefully one day soon, you feel me?
Absolutely.
What are some of your opinions on that? Like the whole Travis Scott situation and the big, I'm sure you probably heard about it, like the 8 Dead and all that craziness. What is your aspect of, because you have more knowledge. Like we talked about this on our regular episode of the podcast this week, and I've thrown shows, but on a much smaller scale than the ones you've done. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you have more knowledge. What would you say from your aspect?
Man, there was layers, man. It's just so important to just like all around hire the people you know can handle and have good communication. because the way things went down from the opening gate, I mean, you could start from security and the way ticketing was handled, all the way to, you know, production not being in cohesion, communicating. It's just they must have dropped a lot of balls in communication. That's how I view it. It's got to be strong communication. It's not easy to control a crowd.
Right.
I have seen like festival crowds and people like jump the barricade, and there's nothing you can do about it. But there had to be some like drops in communication. But then on the other hand, when you got 50,000 people versus the amount of staff you have,
right,
even then, if it's good communication, what can you do? And I think the energy, the vibes, the imagery, just what his class of music and his part of the industry, what they bring to the table, I think it also assisted in helping that environment become what it was.
Right.
The rage style, the mosh pit, which is cool, but some people just assholes. They just got so lost in it that they just not caring for people around them. So just the energy that environment just naturally brought, it didn't put everyone there in the space to be conscious and loving of the people around them. It's almost if some people just had a different type of spirit that took over them.
Right.
And it's a combination of stuff, bro. But it's just it's a tragedy. But you know, I wasn't there, and you never really know when you was there. Even some people were saying they were crying, screaming for help, and then there was other people like, we were in the front, we didn't know any of that stuff was happening.
Right.
It's different perspectives from everywhere. You really never know unless you were in that moment. Even if you were there, your perspective is based on where you were. So it's just so many variables to determine the actual opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been a long answer, but
because when I looked over the situation more after we talked about it, and I was like, yeah, it looks like hell in the back. I was like, the back looks like hell. If you were in the front, it was lit.
They was
like,
chilling.
They were chilling in the front, and it was. I'm like, what are you supposed to do? I was like, if like not to like try and work Travis out of the situation. It is Travis can see everyone,
right?
So I was like, okay, that from that standpoint, I was like, there's something going wrong, but there has to be a missing communication for him to be like, yo, I didn't even know.
I don't know. It's an actor's perspective too. Yeah. Like I've been on stage now as a performer, as an actor, and I've been like backstage, and just the way things are set up, you can see individual people, but there's a sea of people. You ever seen SpongeBob with the nematodes? Like, bro, that's how it look. That's how it look. And then you gotta think the light, right? The only reason you're able to see the people because the light comes from the stage, but the throw can only go so far. Meaning, the further back, the darker it is.
Right.
The ambulance, I'm not gonna defend that shit because he definitely saw the ambulance. I'm not gonna defend that. But nonetheless, man, you just never know the perspective. I know when I've acted on stage, I don't look people in their eye. Because my director taught me when I was younger, he said when you look at people in the audience, you look them in their eye, then you start caring about their opinion or wanting for their opinion, and it affects your performance. So he said look at the top and look at the back wall. People won't notice you're not actually looking at them. You feel me? So you just don't know what his like mindset and how he interacts with people, but you don't know how his perspective is at the same time. Not doubting that he could have had some accountability, just saying, stuff just gonna have to slowly get unraveled and unearthed because it's really hard to say what happened.
Yeah.
Damn. That's it. That's just dope. Like hearing it from somebody's perspective who's, in that industry, you feel me?
Yeah.
Because shit, we do this all the time on the podcast. We talk about shit we don't know shit about. Like, all we do is read it, and we got to just talk about it because motherfuckers expect that's what our podcast is. Like, we talk about shit. So there's a lot of times where we have conversations about things that we're not fully educated on, or not even that. Like, we just don't have the same amount of experience in those areas. So it's cool listening to someone who has the experience and can tell us, like, yo, this is what I feel like I would have done in this situation, or because you just have more experience in the area. That
I didn't say what I would have done because I don't know what I would have done.
Low key,
it depends on what position I'm in,
right?
Because all you can do is all you can do for some people. Like the Cam, I've been in that position. I can honestly tell you, it's a good chance he wasn't comprehending. He was probably focused in his bag, and he got a headset, not talking to every single crew member, security, talking to his director. So his position, you know, not to say he shouldn't have stopped to understand what's going on, but you probably in his zone and like, what the fuck? You just climbed up here? Like, why are you, like, what are you doing? People screaming in the headphones. He's center camera, which is the most important camera that's supposed to stay. So he got people bitching at him as a headset, like, why the fuck you dropping the shot? You know, the shot. You know, he's out the frame, and he's like, somebody climbed on my platform, and then that was just the heat of the moment. So I don't like blame the camera, but you know what I'm saying, if you like production manager and the aspect, like they claim somebody came on stage and told him something, it could have been anything. Right. It's just, I mean, I don't know what I would have done. You feel me? Exactly. So I don't want to like say like I would have done this, because it's so much easier said than done.
That's true.
Yeah. So I want to be clear on that, because it's kind of ignorant to say I would have done this. You just don't. You know, it's hard to know.
Right. Yeah. And that's actually an interesting thing, because at the show that I went to that you threw, one of my homies was actually one of the cameramen there. He goes by Angel. He's Angel of Yellowville.
Right. Yep. He made me a dope recap.
Bro, he's cool with it.
He is.
He's actually shot a couple episodes of our podcast before.
Dope.
Yeah, he's a cool ass dude. I rock with him heavy. But while he was there, after, you know, there was like an intermission, and he was talking, he was like, man, it's crazy experiencing a concert through a camera. Because he was like, I'll be recording the entire show, I'm doing all this, and then I'll look up and be like, whoa, like, I'm here. Like, it's a completely different environment when you're staring at the camera in the work. And he's like, bro, I forgot I was even like a person. Like, I thought I was the you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like you look it through a completely different lens. So I can kind of understand like that aspect of, I don't really know what's going on outside of what is coming straight through this camera lens.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm looking at. Like, this camera is my eyes. You feel me?
I want to talk about that, because I'm a videographer.
Oh, word.
I don't know if you scrolled enough my green. You say I'm a videographer.
Okay.
Like, I actively shoot videos, commercials, corporate, a lot of stuff, and editor. You know what I'm saying? And I dabble in some photography, but I'm really a videographer. So a lot of the times I design my stage and my environment. It's important that the people there have a good time, but in order to take care of the brand in the future, we have to walk away with good content.
Right.
So I think about like how, if you look at a lot of the photos, you'll see at Cream shows. So you can't snap what moment are you in without my brand being right there.
Right.
And just thinking of those little ways to help paint this environment so that when people are shooting it and people are taking snaps, it's carefully, like, it's doing a good job of relaying how the actual environment feels. So that's done through lighting. You know, even the lighting, a lot of that didn't belong to the venue. We brought in our own lighting as well, and I choose my lighting fixtures, my haze. Like, me and my lighting set, we work hand in hand, because I believe an important aspect is creating this show to feel like an actual movie. Because I have a natural cinematic eye. So I love to hear that someone, you know, who had a media pass was able to come through and just kind of feel like in that moment, in that environment, because I want to create something that they can enjoy too when they come to shows, not just the audience.
And that's dope too, because that's actually one thing that while we were in the crowd, me and my homies, we were like, dang, there's a decent amount of cameras here. Like, they really get into it. Every single moment was definitely captured at that show, you know, and having so many different people, you get so many different perspectives and different ways of editing. So so this person may have got this shot from this side, but this person got it from this side, and now they're editing in their style. This other dude editing his style. So you really got a billion different perspectives of this one show. It's one thing that happened, but now we can see it in a bunch of different ways, and that's cold.
You hear me?
Yeah, like, that's cold. And I know that a lot of people at the level of Cream, they don't have the same amount of media care. Like, even you putting out the post saying, yo, hit us up for media passes, blah, blah, blah. That is important. And not that many people understand how important that is to have photographers, bloggers, whoever at the shows to promote it, because those are the voices. Like, the camera is the voice of the people. The bloggers are the voice of the people. And that's how new people are going to find out about it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I take care of that. Being a videographer and having to take the video, having to edit it, having to hire so I can take content and run like all this different stuff. I understand how important it is too, and I want videographers and photographers to have fun too, because I love when I go home with some good footage I can like post, and you know, it helps me get clientele, it helps me get work to post out just at this dope event. So I know how important that is. So the media passes, they come, you know, saying they come in and they gather all this content that they can walk away and use, and so can I. We serve each other, and that's kind of like the motto of Cream, just creating a way where everybody in different aspects, from the production to the fans, artists, photographers. We're all creating an environment where we're serving each other ultimately.
Right. It's the growing together mindset. Like I talk about that on the podcast all the time. I can get something out of it, but if you get something out of it, that doubles what we both get. You feel me?
Exactly.
Even if one of those photographers or whoever posts one of the videos and that blows up, yeah, they grow their brand like crazy. That's dope for them, but that also helps out Cream. And now everybody is growing together, and we're both getting growth because there's enough room for everybody in this game to win and take their W. You feel me?
Yep.
Like, and that's a very dope mindset. I rock with that heavy.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, we can move to the next topic, but another point I want to touch on, especially coming out of Chicago, we just kind of know and had this crabs in the barrel mentality. So to create a brand, to me, it's a big deal to be the next like thing that comes out of Chicago that's about pulling and helping each other within Chicago, not like tripping on like where you from and all types of stuff like that.
Right.
Like they do in each other's cities. Like y'all been to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Like everybody that's from Chicago that go to Atlanta be like, it's so different out here. Everybody want to help each other. It's like the Black Hollywood in Chicago. Like everybody just be hating on each other.
You ain't from within these 4 blocks.
You feel me?
Fuck with you.
Exactly. And even people who ain't from within the blocks just being lame and wanting to act like they from there.
Right.
And so they take on this like personality and they take on those vibes. Nah, it's I want to continue to create an environment where it's just like we all coming together, because that's what Chicago needs. That's how Cream is going to be a part in providing the healing Chicago needs. I believe that.
That's a fact too. I actually heard a quote last week. I think it was on Kanye's Drink Champs interview. Yeah, where he said they got this crabs in a barrel mentality. Crabs not supposed to be in a barrel. I'm like,
he's right.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's kind of like boo fucking who. We in it.
That's a fact.
So let's figure it out. Can't we that? So what? We came here on the boat, bro.
We
didn't want to be on the boat, but those were the circumstances. That's the cards that we were dealt. It is what it is. We can't change the past. Okay, bam. Let's figure out what this bucket is about. Let's help each other get out of this bucket, and then let's go fuck up whoever put us in the bucket in the first place, and then we all just split on and be happy.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's definitely a good way to think about it. Say, yo, one way or another, we walking away with this dub. So let's get to it. Right, we can do it together, or we could try to take each other down in the way, but ain't nobody getting a dub like that. You feel me? Like, we're not winning like that.
Precisely.
It's way better to work together, grow together, everybody move up together. That's the way to do things.
Precisely that.
100%, man.
Yeah.
I rock with that mentality for sure.
Appreciate it.
So for Cream, what is the end goal? Like, what do you want to get out of Cream?
Personally, I want to, I think like Marlon Wayans in The Living Color, or I think like Russell Simmons with Def Jam. I want to be responsible for a kind of a time period where I changed the game with the amount of talent I was putting on. You feel me?
Word.
And then I hope that the talent that I put on, just try to move wisely so I don't regret any of the talent that I put on.
Right.
Because it's cool to put a lot of people on, and then you get to a point you realize some people were a little sadistical. Maybe you should have left them out the plan.
Right.
So I want to, build something like that. Not to say Russell Simmons or Marlon Wayans like did that, but I want to build something where I pushed out a lot of content, but hopefully 20 years down the road, I could say I made conscious picks in who I chose to bring out and expose to the world. Because that's important. I would hate to leave behind something that was like detrimental to the youth, because I believe I have a soul. I believe we all gonna see death, and I want to be able to have a discussion with the creator about what I did on my time here. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's the end game. Change the game.
Church does play a lot of like a role. A religion plays a lot of role in what you do and everything you're moving towards.
Nah, I wouldn't call it religion.
Like spirituality.
Man, it sounds corny. People say that. I would just I would just say I truly believe Yeshua. So that's the Hebrew God. When you refer to, even when the Muslims, the Jews, the Christians, we all like refer to that God. We got different opinions, but we all refer to that God. I believe that is a person who pretty much made the Bible as basic instructions before leaving Earth, an acronym. Right. So, I just look at my gift, I look at the clues in my life, and I more so understand. I feel like I understand like what I'm supposed to do, or I'm able to look and say like this is where I'm supposed to be. So it's not like this religion thing. Like I want to like force this religion. I will tell people about my struggles and how my relationship with with God and Christ brought me to where it brought me. But nonetheless, I just feel like I got to use my growth and be an agent of healing. But it does come from my core beliefs that I learned through Christianity. But a lot of people would learn those beliefs in a different way. That just so happened how I learned it. So now it's not like a church thing at all.
I wasn't saying like Cream has to deal with church, but I'm saying like your personal goals and all that is rooted in like
morality, more or less. Yeah.
Like what you want your greater picture to be.
Oh yeah. Like I'm a businessman, but I'm not like like a maniac pumping out
you're not
high revenue events.
Right.
Exactly, precisely that. Yeah. No, what I do is based on my morals, ethics, for sure.
Yeah, because I've met a lot of people where their whole goal is like, I gotta get $1 billion.
Bro, that shit's so weak.
Right.
So weak.
Anybody in the way.
Like, yeah, but man, people came out and they made people believe that that's what they need to do. Is like this is how you become happy, because they all just pretend to be happy. Like you can look at these celebrities' interviews and they'll tell you that their life is sometimes opposite of what they portray in their music. They tired, they depressed. Drake had a whole song about that on his last album. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't even rock with that album like that. Certified Lover Boy was not lit,
poetry. Bro. He was talking about the. He was genuinely talking
that
about
album was not lit.
I've lost myself trying to help everybody else around me.
Precisely, bro. So what a lot of people just don't see like what that turned out to. My friend Freddie G told me a story about like Juice, and he was saying his friends were hitting him up from home. They wanted to like hang with him and whatnot, and then he just like he said on the phone, he said, "Bro, I can't. I got so much work to do." So it's just people glamorizing like what they see, but like there's whole stories behind these people and what they dealing with. So, but nonetheless, all they showing is the money, the money, the money. So you just creating people that believe that's it. They get there, and then they get there, and all they do is end up the next nigga who OD, the next nigga who rich and depressed. And it's just like, why aren't people watching that one? Like, you feel me? That's what I look at. I look at the end game. How people like Mac Miller and Michael Jackson, how their story ended. I don't care about when he was making people faint in stadiums. The story didn't end too well. I'm not impressed with that part. Right. Some people don't look at that. I don't understand why.
And you gotta have a whole. My bad.
Oh no, E-Man was finna talk. Let's go.
I was just gonna say, I feel like a lot of people also don't show the work that has to be put into that type of stuff.
Yep.
Like even videography and putting on types of shows, and when it comes to the artists and them in their type of craft, it does take a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. Like when you were talking about Juice WRLD, he stays in the studio a lot. Okay, I don't know him personally, but
he definitely did.
He sounds like he stays in the studio a lot, and that kind of not messes things up, but changes things with family, friend, time.
Yeah,
and other engagements. Yeah. Little photo shoots, little meeting, little show.
Yeah,
and then you constantly traveling, you losing sleep, and so it's just like.
And you gotta make sure you're whole yourself
exactly
before you go and do all those things. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how tall you build the building if the foundation isn't solid.
Precisely.
You got to make sure your own mental, your own everything is in place before you go, okay, I need to go get this bread. I need to go get this bread. I need to go get this bread. Well, are you happy without the bread? Because the bread not going to fix nothing if you ain't got a strong foundation to be able to build more up upon,
And I think a lot of people get caught up in like social media with the highlight reel. Like nobody likes to truthfully look at like, okay, LeBron James dunked on this guy, that's sick, but you ain't see LeBron squatting 400 pounds trying to get his vertical to look like that. Like
they show that. Some people just don't take it.
Yeah, well, yeah, even then, too. When they see the person doing the work, they be like,
exactly.
Get back to the highlight reel,
right?
And that's a problem. Like a lot of people don't understand that. Even your favorite rapper has been in the studio 63 hours this week.
Well, some of them. Well, some niggas will pull up, drop a freestyle, walk out, and be like, "Fuck that shit."
Your favorite.
You mind if I interview y'all for a second? We gonna flip the script because I have an honest question. I want y'all opinions on.
Okay, let's get it.
So it would appear that we all grew up kind of seeing the same thing in a generation of people who are like addicted on this fast money, get rich flex on Instagram,
Right.
post my highlight reel like generation. Do you feel as though it's not a coincidence that we all like grew up seeing that? Like, do you think somebody planned that?
Low key, it's very possible because that's very well possible because the way that we were set up with social media coming into our lives so fast.
Yep.
Like it blew up quickly, you know,
Yep.
and people don't want you to always look behind the curtain because you're not always going to like what you see.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it's like, yo, let's keep showing them more and more and more dope shit.
Who said that?
That's a good point.
You feel me?
But I kind of feel like the latter. I feel like we've had more famous people now than ever. So like
Right.
it's truthfully shown people if you do put in the work, you
Right.
can be famous. Like if you asked somebody 30 years ago, yo, I want to do this thing where we blow up, go huge. Stop that bullshit. Go get a job. That is kind.
Right,
that's kind
that's
of
true,
what
that's
people
true.
were pushing. It was even in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
If you had a dream where you wanted to be on MTV, you wanted to be the most bussin' person alive, people would tell you to go get a job. People would tell you that ain't gonna take you nowhere.
Yeah.
The internet, like even if you think about when the internet or Facebook and all that stuff started, people get off of there. That's not gonna do nothing for you.
Yeah.
And it was a lie. It was. Some people look at the highlight reel and understand that there was work
Right.
put in behind the highlight reel, and some people just look at the highlight reel and be like, "Nah, that motherfucker's blessed."
Yeah.
And like, and
See, so that's the essence of. So I guess that's the essence of perspective, basically. So you're
True.
saying two
That's
people can see
exactly
the
what I
same
was
thing. Like some people might see Floyd Mayweather and be like, "Oh, you know, money, cars," but he say hard work and dedication all the time.
Right.
I always look at that. So you're saying people get like different perspectives. Do you think that just as like I want to get on and preach my moral of, you know, how we should take care of each other, serve each other, make positive content, have a good time and whatnot, and how I'm putting out this agenda, do you think the opposite agenda that does not push that, do you think there's someone who feels the way like I do, for example, and opposite? So it is a matter of choice. Like you can choose to look at this or that. But do you think some people market it and advertise a little harder to get people to swing their way? And I'm not trying to convince you to say yeah.
Like, no,
But I feel like
agree.
we all kind of think like, is somebody going crazy?
And to an extent, I could see how that would benefit them also. Because if you did all this putting in the hard work, dedication to get to the top, and you don't want other motherfuckers to get to the top, then you don't want them to see that.
Tell
part.
them it was a breeze.
You just tell them, oh, do this. And if you do this, you make it. So when they do it and then they don't make it, they're like, well, that was my chance. It's over with. Let me
Right.
go work for this nigga now.
So
You feel me?
Like
No.
even down like the person I think about that when we talk about it is like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is somebody put in the work, did all, but he was also talented.
Very.
So he could go into the studio and freestyle for 20 minutes and he has a hit. And now everybody thinks that they could. Oh yeah, it's that easy. No, you're not. You're not him.
Yep.
Like, and
That's
a lot
skill
of
that did that.
Right.
Yeah, it took time.
Yeah.
It took time. It took effort. I don't imagine he was just sitting there. He was like, I got it. And even if it was like that, you don't got it like that.
Right.
And what are you going to do to go get it? And people don't understand. People like to think that they're already on par with someone who's like that just because everybody is a regular person. They bleed just like the next
Yeah,
person.
that's true.
And a lot of people will let that eat them.
Yeah, and influence though.
Yeah, and that'll be their way of like, oh, well, I tried super hard, and it was like you really gave a studio 4 hours and you didn't come up with a hit, and then you were angry. Like you don't know. Lil Wayne could have sat in the studio for 26 and still didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what happens when he goes in the studio. So like,
Right.
how are you gonna? It's when you're looking at people's work ethic, you can't tell what somebody's doing because you're not always there.
Yeah.
That's a
exactly
fact.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
E-man.
I mean, I was gonna say something a little bit off topic.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
With that being said, also you don't even know if that's what you're supposed to do. If I look at Lil Wayne and say that I'm some big influencer or whatever, and I know Lil Wayne personally, I'm in the studio with him. That doesn't mean that I need to be a rapper. If I'm in a studio,
Yeah.
maybe I'm meant to be a engineer. Maybe I can engineer for Lil Wayne. Just because I like rap
Don't
does
mean you
not
gotta
mean
rap.
I need to be a rapper.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I think a lot of people need to hear.
Yes.
People love the glitz and the glamour aspects of, ooh, this dude's a rapper. This dude's an actor. This dude's this. There's people who need to be behind the scenes running that stuff too. And that may suit you better. Even with your shows. Yeah, I mean, you get up on the stage and MC and things like that. But you understand that there is groundwork that has to be put behind that nobody sees. And it depends on who you are. I think that's cooler. Yeah. Like, I think that's some dope stuff because you could be a rapper, you could be the main event, but seeing the person who builds the foundation, who builds the stage for you to perform on, that's some dope stuff. Like, I think that's wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, rappers are dope as fuck too for doing the performances because that shit's not easy. But I really like seeing the groundwork, like the people who handle the sound, the people who handle the videos, the people who do the stage design, the people who sell the tickets, even the people at the door. You feel me? Like, there's a lot that goes in underneath that people don't even think about.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the crazy part.
100%, bro.
Yeah, because I know you really be making sure that everything be handled in.
I know my whole team. Yeah, a lot of people just go with venue crews. Like, I go to venues with my own team. Right. So, person handling like tickets, venue may have somebody, but I will have somebody too. Right. And they will be up there with you or somebody. You know what I'm saying? The sound tech, lighting tech. Like, we have everything we try not to use in-house. We travel with our own team. Right. And that's part of why our product comes out the way it is, because, you know, it's just a collective work environment.
That's what's up.
And, like, even to speak on that, there's probably somebody on your team who doesn't have the exposure, but you know this person is the hardest working on the team. Like,
for sure.
You look at him, you like, nah, we would not be here without him. But
precisely.
He don't want the shine.
Yeah.
That's not what he's there for.
Bro, you feel what I'm saying? I like on my team, it would be my guy Tavon, and he's my technical director. So lighting, sound. I have a say in that because I understand it, but I still trust his creativity. Right. And when we're at the venue, I know sound and lighting, so I can talk to the guys and have them do that. But he handles and he organizes all of that. He makes it a project of his own. He designs the lighting. He tunes the, you know what I'm saying, with the audio guy, make sure the speakers is tuned. Right. He's like, this is rap. They playing this type of music. We, you know, had the subs here. We do this, that, with that. And just those type of people. Like, he's one of those people in my organization, like, single-handedly, he helps shape my environment. That's so dope. But those people are so important. Those people often don't get praised, but a lot of people don't care, you know? Right. You getting a check and you doing what you love. That's what matters.
And I thought that was dope because I actually got to the show early, the one that you threw that I pulled up to, and y'all was still doing sound check, getting everything done. Yeah. And I was like, hey, y'all running it up right now, making sure everything good, making sure it's going to sound right, making sure there ain't going to be no crazy issues. Mm-hmm. That's important, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I also got to ask you, I don't know if anybody else saw this, and I'm not trying to put nobody on blast. Mm-hmm. When the sound cut out while She Go Turbo was playing, she hit the chord. Like, I watched it, but whatever. I just want to make sure motherfuckers know that shit. Like, did you see it?
Bro, okay.
She hit the chord, bro, but whatever.
Gee, okay, so, yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what happened.
I don't think she knew she hit the chord.
I think I did tell her that. Oh, okay. I told her DJ. I told one or the other. Right. Or whatnot. I went and I talked to the sound engineer, like, you know, I apologize on behalf of me, him talk. We laughed it off. Right. It ended up being funny because of the auto-tune thing. It was funny as fuck.
No, it was funny as hell. Like, it was a good moment because you even posted it.
I did.
Because it was funny. I was in the front row and I saw it and I was like, hey, she hit that shit. Like, yeah. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, bro. I didn't see what happened because I was in the audience at that moment jamming. Okay. Yeah. There's a whole video of me jamming and then I just stopped and I just started laughing.
Yeah, I was in the front row. And everybody's looking around like, oh shit, what happened? Why did the sound go out? And I'm like looking at my homie like, hey bro, you saw that shit? He was like, yeah,
that's funny because I was just fucking laughing. I'm just like, because she did the thing and I was just like, man, I ain't even panic. I thought that shit was hilarious.
No, I thought that shit was funny as fuck. Yeah. That was a cool ass moment in the concert. Like, everybody was just like, damn. Because it was just a fun thing. And mistakes happen. You feel me? We got to be able to work through it and power through it. And that's exactly what happened. But I was dying. Like, I was in the crowd dying because I was front row. I like to be front row at the concerts.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Exactly like you said, mistakes happen, man. Sometimes, if you roll with the punches, it won't hurt so bad. It'll actually end up. Now we got a funny ass clip. We're gonna make it go viral.
You posted the clip and I was like, shit, like that's what's up. They having fun with this shit.
Yeah, and you see at Crane shows in the back of that potentially viral clip. Make sure y'all go share that.
You can definitely see that shit.
Product placement.
Yeah.
I made that slide myself right before the show. I sat on my laptop. I'll be in the nooks and crannies. That's a proud moment. Were y'all at the show? Did y'all get a chance to go?
No,
Y'all didn't? Okay.
I tried to get you to slide with
man,
me,
y'all
but
got to
you
be
at
at the
work.
next one, bro, because we really about to tee this one up. Y'all got to be at the next one.
Nah,
for sure.
this next one gonna be fire. I'm excited for this
For
one. I
sure.
love Reggie's. Like that's a dope. The venue that you had the last one at,
Chop Shop.
Chop Shop.
Yeah.
I had never been there before actually.
Oh, okay.
I had been to obviously I've been to shoot, what's the one right up the street? Is that Shuba's, I believe?
Yeah, Scuba's
no,
Tavern.
Subterranean. Yeah.
Right.
Subterranean is right over there. I had been there, and when I walked past I was like, oh, it says Subterranean? And then my homie was like, no, it's like one more block, and I was, oh shit, what's this? That was a nice venue.
It was.
I like that venue. It was
liked
like
it.
a restaurant too. They have some food in there.
Yeah, I choose my venues a little like carefully. I
Yeah.
like vibes, not just like a venue.
Yeah, it was definitely a vibe because even we got there early.
Yeah.
So at a regular venue, if you get there early, nigga, you got to stand outside.
Exactly.
But it was still an actual restaurant, so we were able to walk in, sit down. Like, I think my homie ordered some fries. Like, you feel me? Like, we were just in that mug cooling, getting ready, just setting the vibe. That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely a good choice.
That's nice.
Venue.
This is yeah. For sure.
They killed that. That venue was fire.
Yeah, shout out to the Chop Shop, man.
Yeah.
They
Y'all gonna
did
do
their
more
thing.
stuff there later, maybe?
Yeah, more than likely. We'll see. We'll see.
And I know I saw on your Instagram this week, you said after this next show that comes up, it's going to be a while to your next one because you planning something big.
Yeah.
You want to give us any sneak peeks as to
No.
what that may be? Not even a little bit? You can't.
Not at all.
You about to throw
It's
a
getting
festival.
big. I got other people involved now, so I got to be respectful of my
I feel
partners
that.
and whatnot. So
100%.
Nah, as of now, all you need to know is that when you see it,
It's
grab
gonna
your
be
ticket
raw.
and get there. That's all you need
Okay.
to know.
Shit, I'm going to
Something
slide
is
then.
coming. Something is happening.
I'm going to be
I
there.
will probably do other shows. Like my shows is ideas that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, like I might not like do something till like end of summer, fall, but I might just be like, fuck it, Christmas show. You just never know.
I be on the same thing. Like, when you're a creator, you just get inspired by shit.
Yeah.
And you have no choice
But to do it.
create. You
Exactly.
feel me?
Yep.
Creators create whether they want to or not. You could
Yep.
be dead tired about to leave the office at night one night, and you
Yep.
walking out, you like, oh shit, like, I just had this idea. Let me
Exactly.
hit up this dude and let's start working on this. Let's get this done. Let's
exactly
do this.
that.
And there's nothing you can really do about it if you're a creator, because
Yeah.
you have no option but to just create, because it's just what's in you. So
Natural
even though
instinct.
you say, hey, I might not do a show this long, an idea might hit you and you're gonna be like, oh shit, hold on.
That's
Show
how
me how to
that's
figure
how
this
it
shit out.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Reggie show, that's how it was. I did not plan on having anything in the fall.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. At
Yeah.
all. I mean, yeah, not at all. Even my Chop Shop show, it got postponed. That was supposed to be in the summer.
Yeah, I heard about. Y'all were talking a little bit about that.
Yeah.
What happened with that? COVID?
Yeah, man. So basically, like with Chicago, bro, they just they changed their COVID regulations and rules every single week. Like, it's ridiculous, to be honest. It's not consistent. And so the week before, they was like, everybody that enters has to have a vax card.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, had I known, and they had changed that like in 8 days to my show, before my show.
Right.
And I'm just like, had I known that, I would have never booked with y'all, because it's hard enough to sell tickets, let alone when everybody got to have a vax card. When I know, because I just came from Summer Smash.
Right.
Not everybody is with that vax card shit. Not everybody is doing it.
That's a fact.
So I you know what I'm saying? So when I found out, I was like, okay, well, we got to postpone it, because I need to relook at this and try to market this in a different way so I could try to have a good outcome.
Right.
Because I'm not going to waste everybody's time.
That's what's up. Yeah. No, that's true. And it ended up being good though. Like,
Yeah.
it still worked out.
I'm happy with
It
it.
was a dope show.
Yeah, a blessing in disguise. You just
Yeah.
never know.
And they was at the front door. They were serious about that.
Very.
That vaccine shit. Because
For
we
real.
pulled up, and my homie had a COVID test, like a negative test,
Yeah.
and bro at the door was not letting him in.
Hey, that's just that's the nature. That's where we headed. So
Yeah.
hey, if you an entrepreneur, just be flexible, pivot. You know what I'm saying? We do virtual shows too. So another lockdown happened.
What is that like?
Huh?
What is that like? I've
virtual
never
shows?
been to a virtual show.
That one. So our virtual shows, you watch them online.
Okay.
So man, you gotta look up the Cream Christmas Bash.
Okay.
Right? We got clips from it. You have to go to Cream and have to scroll all the way down.
Right.
I might post the full show like I should.
Right.
Post it somewhere. You know, it was crazy. So we had a lineup of artists. We took them submission based. We went into an empty warehouse. We brought in our LED, our light, and our whole crew. We set up from scratch, and we filmed this show. And there was no audience. You know,
Okay.
it was quarantine. And then I edited it myself actually.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, I edited it myself, and I basically just directed this live production. And then I had a friend, Coney, and he makes he has skits that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
He has a TV show called Type Shit. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And
Word.
I took clips from his. I put them in between. I made commercials. I threw sponsors in, and I edited it into an entire program.
Wow.
And then we aired it on on YouTube, basically. Yeah, man.
That's actually really dope.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I'm gonna post that up for people to see. It's the show was like an hour and a half, but it's pretty dope. It's something we will do again.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to tune into that.
Yeah.
That sound like
I send that to you, bro. If you want to see some clips ASAP, you go to Cream Shows and you just scroll back to December 2020, and you'll see all the pictures and clips.
Okay, word. I gotta ask you. I talked to all of my creator friends about this. Like, this is something serious to me.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok, bro? You sleep.
Listen.
You sleep.
Listen.
You sleep,
listen,
bro.
Listen.
I'm telling you.
Listen. I will tell you this. I understand what TikTok can do. I damn near don't give a fuck about TikTok, but I know I should implement it. So I'm actually gonna hire somebody to do it for me,
bro.
Because I understand it's important, but I'm not about to do that shit.
Bro, I promise
I'm literally
you, it's
gonna hire
not as hard
somebody.
as you would think.
Bro,
Yeah,
you just throw something.
But
up
if you
there.
gotta hire somebody, you feel
To
me?
me, bro, Instagram has been so easy to be consistent on. I don't know why. It's just been easy. TikTok, I have tried it. I do have a TikTok. You can
Okay.
follow Cream Shows on
Right.
TikTok or Ty J Davis, TyJDavis. Some people got mad start making TikToks because I made some really good TikToks. But I just don't have the time to sit and make videos, bro.
It's
I
1 minute,
don't.
bro. It's only a minute.
No, it's not,
easier to
bro.
Instagram
You
content,
could
to be
basically
honest.
just take something from Instagram, clip it, make it a little shorter, and put it on TikTok.
I don't
And
know,
then be like,
man.
yo, go follow me on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling
Nah,
you, bro. I
no,
get
no,
the
no,
full
no, no,
TikTok
no,
shit
no.
serious.
But I am gonna hire somebody to do that
Word.
because just being the owner of Cream, I got a lot of hats to wear.
That's a fact.
So I feel as though if I know and understand what TikTok is, and it's just not something I can see myself being consistent in,
Right.
I'd be better off finding somebody who don't have a problem doing TikTok all day, but also believes in my vision and want to help out.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't try and do everything myself.
That's an important thing because
Yeah.
you have to know what you're good at. You have to know what you're passionate
Precisely that.
Yeah.
Precisely that.
about. And if you're not, there's no point in spending your time somewhere where you're not passionate because you're not going to give it the same amount of percent as
Precisely.
you would in something you're passionate about. So if you find somebody who's passionate about that shit,
Yep.
they give 110% where you may only be able to give 70 because that's all you can even give a fuck about in some shit that
Exactly.
you don't even care about.
Exactly
So
that.
yeah, I be making sure to tell everybody to get on TikTok though, because that's the way, bro.
For sure.
Like,
I'm
you
gonna
can
put
blow
an
up
extra
quick on that
emphasis on my TikTok hunt.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put an extra emphasis on it.
that shit is important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I got one more question for you. Or,
For sure.
I mean, if anybody else got some more questions, but this is a
Yeah.
question that I wanted to ask. Out of all the artists you work with, who are some of your favorites? And, this ain't to say that the ones you don't name aren't fire, but,
Right.
who are some of your favorite artists and what made them your favorites? In terms of, booking shows and doing things like that.
Even outside of Cream and booking shows, I've worked on a lot of shows.
Right.
Having different positions, doing video, doing lighting or whatever. So I work with a lot more artists than I book. I would say an artist. I really like working for Charlie Wilson.
Okay.
Gucci Mane. I really liked the time I got to work with him because he's just so professional.
Okay,
It's
word.
just it's hard to bring his demographic out and have things go in a clean order all the time.
Right.
But he composed himself so professionally. I just respect that because we need more black rappers to be professional like him.
Right.
I would say, yeah. A lot of people, Frankie Beverly and Mays, just some of the legends, seeing how they work. Man, I got to work with Tiffany Haddish. I really liked her. She was super cool. Her and Marlon Wayans. I got to work with both of them. They mean, they just cool around backstage. And John Witherspoon, before he died, I got to
Really?
yes, bro. He was in.
That's dope.
Oh yes, bro.
That's
I kid you
dope.
not. I sat in catering and he's tables behind me eating, and they were like their show rider. They had soul food, so we in there
Wow.
smashing, and he cool. Him, Mr. Brown from Tyler Perry
Word.
stuff. I like those all comedians. I like them because Gabriel Iglesias, who's a Fluffy.
Yeah. One
Those
of
are some
my
of my
homies
favorite
loves him.
people because the environment, bro, they just chilling. They not coming in bougie and you know what I'm
Right.
saying, with their scarves and peacoats. They
Right.
just they just cool.
Real people.
And they make it a good environment because it's just like, all right, we all just trying to come here, have a good time, get the job done, and, you know, go home and continue our lives.
That's what's up.
And
That's
it's
dope.
dope.
Because a lot of the people who watch our podcast, they're artists, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's good for them to know, like, what type of things they should convey to make their show go off the greatest. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to be the type of artist that no one wants to work with because you're just
Yeah.
a dick, you feel me?
Yep.
Like, you want to be an artist who people want to book not only because you throw great shows and, like, you have a great stage performance, but because you're easy to work with. Like,
Yeah.
there are definitely times, I don't know if you've been through this before, where people will be like, I don't care how many people he's going to bring in and sell tickets.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a bad person.
Oh,
Like,
I'll never say names.
yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah, don't
but-
say no names. Don't say no names.
Bro, it is when people, I'm just like, bruh, like, there's been times I'm like, bro, I will literally fight you. I don't care if you famous.
Right, like, it's not even worth
Nah,
it,
I
bro.
ain't got to that point, but I done see people it's just like, bro, we all just here to work for you. Like, why you
Right.
gotta like that?
Yeah, see, I can't rock with people like that because we
Yeah.
all humans. And
Exactly.
even if you can make me more money than whoever, it's not about the
It
money.
ain't worth my peace of mind.
If
Ain't
you
no
gonna be
money
out here
worth my peace
wilding,
of mind.
nah, yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, nah, I've worked with some people done like some crazy stuff, but nonetheless, for the most part, that's like a once in a while case. For the most part, like, that's important to know for artists to know that being somebody that's like easy to work with and your protocol is professional and clean and you're not being difficult.
Right.
There's artists I have seen who have residencies in venues that personally book them and promoters that book them year after year after year after year after year.
Right.
Crazy ass checks just because they easy to work with and they consistently bring a crowd, right? So you
Yep.
look at like the Horseshoe Casino in Hammond. They bring Boys to Man every year, Kim every year, Lettucey every single year, Charlie Wilson, even heavy metal like Judas Priest. They continuously bring these people back in because when they came through, they was easy to work with and they still keep up with their brand and keep it clean where they can bring in the crowd. And to some people, that's just like money. Like, think about this, bro.
Right.
Nobody, some of these people making $40,000 to $60,000, sometimes way more than that.
Right.
But let's say like, I'm not gonna say venues. I don't want to throw no numbers of what people make out there. But let's say between 40 $60K, right?
Right.
And all you got to do is show up for about 5-6 hours, do your sound check, do your set. In one night, you get $50,000-$60,000 a year.
That's smooth.
That is what being a professional and being easy to work with and having a good attitude. That's the type of blessings that it can bring you. Charlie
Right.
Wilson has been putting out music, but to my point, there's people still touring and making music.
Right.
And still touring and making big checks per night, not because they still dropping music, because they got a history of being easy to work with and they got fans that still come see them. I think artists need to look at that perspective when going out to do business.
That's what's up. This is actually the last question I got. I don't know if anybody got anything after this. But for a small artist who wants to get on a concert lineup, who wants to get to that point, as someone who throws concerts and knows the ins and out, what would be your main tips for them?
Just be a student of the game. Like, just don't be chilling out thinking like you the shit.
Right.
And the world is just missing out. Like, no, you got to put work in and become a great artist. You ain't just a great artist because you say you are. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you got to put work in. Everybody got to put work in to be like something. I got to put work in. We all do. So, put the work in to thrive in the area you want to thrive. If you want to do concerts, then put the work in. Go study. Go to concerts and look at it from a different perspective. Watch so many YouTube clips. You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
And, start getting on local shows, start learning how to perform, and then start making friends that are in production. Because you're going to actually need people to help you do, get the lighting and the sound and stuff like that.
Right.
If you really need all that. But the thing is, a lot of people can't access that unless labels are cutting big checks. But just like there's videographers, photographers out there, there's lighting directors and sound techs out there that just want to make a check for the night.
Right.
That work with industry people and will still help you do your smaller show just because y'all cool and you pay them. It's the independent mindset that I'm trying to teach with Cream through production. Like, we discovered we didn't need to hire some big company to make music videos.
Right.
You don't always need to hire a big company to do your production. It is a space where there are young black artists or people in our space, and we looking for opportunities too.
Right.
So dig deeper than just wanting to get on stage with a mic. Dig deeper into the team and what goes behind it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's
I really hope y'all listening and taking away from this. You feel me? Because like, this is important shit, and from all the artists who I know are watching this and really are taking a lot away from this, I want to thank you for them. You feel me? Because and they gonna hit you up too. You feel me? They gonna hit you up and let you know. Like,
please
hey,
do.
They gave me the tips. Y'all got any other questions or?
So for Cream, the idea is doing shows, and like, what is your YouTube presence gonna be like?
Yeah, so it's not just doing shows. So we're gonna do events. It's more so a brand. So we can branch out and say, like, we doing books, or we selling like candy now. I treat it more like a brand. Okay. That's what the hoodie and like, I live by this logo. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I pay to get it put in places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I I live by the logo.
Right.
So yeah. That answer your question?
Yeah, I was just like wondering what more things Cream did.
Oh,
like,
yeah. So the events, the merchandise, and it's really, so Cream is really just like a stretch of like my ideas as well, right? So if I had the idea to drop like this merch or do like we did a book bag, we partnered to do a book bag drive, just anything that's out there within the music or entertainment community that we can do that's dope and that drives towards the mission. So different shows, concerts, events, merchandise, album release parties. We did a Halloween party, and we just doing all different types of stuff. So it's more so of a brand, not a company with just one thing that we do.
Word.
We just popping out doing dope shit with the same logo on it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to tell the people? Anything you wanna talk about before we go ahead and get up out of here?
Yeah, for sure. So I just want to make an appeal for people to check out Cream. Check me out. Cream shows on Instagram, and you can find my personal Instagram in the bio of that. I feel that it's very important to support independent companies, upcoming people who are get into this industry to make content based off morals and based off of real people and connections, and not making a machinery like product. So just to support independent companies. And if you're from Chicago and, you feel, it should be a more cohesive environment, Cream is one of those companies that you should support. We have a great cause. We have the work ethic. We have the talent. And, to support Cream is to believe in the future of Chicago and to believe that there should be a shift in the change in the way multiple things are viewed within our culture.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I rock with that heavy. Like, I just rock with your entire brand, the way you carry yourself, the energy that comes with it. That was originally what caught my attention when we were at the show and you were in the crowd and you were walking around like, yo, I'm the owner of Cream Shows. Like, I'm putting this show on. Like, how y'all doing? Everything going good?
Yeah.
I was like, once you walked away, I told my homies, I was like, yo, that was raw. Like, that is something that is missing right now. Like, people are so full of themselves in their heads that they like, yo, I'm not going to do the groundwork. I'm not about to be walking around with people doing this, doing that. Mm-hmm. I did all this. I'm going to sit up, kick my feet back, and let it rock. But there's still work to be done. Yeah. And I think that that's something that you understand a lot, and it's shown throughout your brand, throughout the way you carry yourself, and it's dope, man. I
appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, but I think we can go ahead and get up out of here unless anybody else got anything y'all want to say.
Hey, man, follow Cream.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Follow. We forgot to say follow us.
Yeah, so, low key.
Put it on the screen.
Y'all know the vibes. Go ahead, hit that like, sub, comment, share, all that shit. And make sure you pull up to the next Cream show if you're in Chicago. And if you're not in Chicago,
November 23rd at Reggie's Rock Club. Feel free to go and look up all the artists. Young Zave. We got Fat Boy Golf Protagonist. We got Ray May. We got Edwards. Look into all of those artists. These are good artists. These are people that they think like I think. They take the craft seriously like I do. So if you fuck with me, you fuck with Cream. These are artists that we chose to go and represent us these nights. So there's many more people who think like me and they create dope ass art. And those are the people we put on that show. Reggie's Rock Club. Get your tickets.
That's what's up, man.
At creamshows.com. You can get your tickets at creamshows.com.
Bet it up, man. And with that, we gonna go ahead and bounce out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with us for another episode. We out. Peace.